So hello everyone, let's take our next question. So in this question, a trauma patient presented with a blood pressure of 80 by 60 millimeter Hg, absent breath sound on the one side, weak pulse and the GCS of 8. What is the next step in the management? Okay. Now let's try to see what are the parameters that has been given in this question. Okay, so here the first parameter that has been given, the absent breath sound on the one side of the chest, which is eventually suggesting us towards the development of either hemothorax or pneumothorax from the trauma that the patient has received, right? Okay, now it is a very much important and life-threatening condition which basically require immediate life-threatening intervention, right? Followed by the blood pressure of 80 by 60 means the patient already had hypotension. Okay, now this the cause of this hypotension might be shock due to hemorrhage. Now we are not able to see hemorrhage externally, but the possibility is there. It could be internal hemorrhage. Okay, or sometime it could be a shock due to obstructive shock. Now this obstructive shock has been seen in a patient with a tension pneumothorax, right? So these are the two important point. Either it could be a hypovolemic shock or it could be obstructive shock due to tension pneumothorax. Then we have a GCS of 8. Okay, so what does it mean? So the GCS of 8 means the patient is unable to control their own airway or unable to protect their airway on their own. So that's why we have to take some necessary action or intervention so that the patient is able to protect their airway, right? So these are the important parameter that has been given in this question. Now the next is the weak pulse. Now the weak pulse eventually indicates of poor perfusion as well as the hemodynamic instability. Okay, now let's try to understand, while dealing with a patient with the trauma, we have to remember that there is a two important term. One is the primary survey, another is the secondary survey, right? Secondary survey. So your primary survey is supposed to be remembered by mnemonics of A, B, C, D, E, right? Now in the recent update of the ATLS guideline has introduced the C. C means control of any external hemorrhage or any life-threatening hemorrhage. Okay, followed by we have to look for the airway, followed by breathing, followed by circulation, followed by disability and exposure prevention, right? Okay, now let's try to learn the stepwise management in this patient. So obviously here comes the in the question that has been given in here, there is no external life-threatening hemorrhage has been mentioned. That means we can easily able to skip at the level of the airway management. So in the airway, patient GCS is less than 8. That means the airway compromise is there. We have to take care of the airway and we have to possibly intubate the patient with endotracheal intubation, right? With simultaneous oxygenation is also needed, followed by B. That means the breathing. So to look for the breathing, we have to look for the evidence of, we have already got some evidence of the tension pneumothorax. So that is supposed to be taken care of by us. And then your breath sound hypotension suggestive of tension pneumothorax. So here you do need to go for the intercostal chest drain immediately without any further delay. Okay, then you can easily able to confirm that with the chest X-ray, followed by your circulatory restoration. The patient is already suffering from the weak pulse and the hypotension. Then you can put the patient on the IV fluid, okay, to address the hypotension, and then you can go for the use of blood products and if there is any presence of hemorrhagic shock, right? And further image and assessment can be done after stabilization of the patient. Okay, so these are the one which is the step of management. Now let's try to see the question rather than the options again. So your option A, that is secure airway, oxygenation, insert ICD followed by IV fluids. Okay, then the next option is secure airway, assess head injury and do bedside X-ray. No, this one is not going to be your answer. Okay. Then the option C, insert ICD followed by oxygenation, secure airway, IV fluid, perform CT chest. No, it's not going to be. Look, here the CT chest is not done until and unless the patient is stable. Okay. Obviously, your secure airway and oxygenation is going to be your first priority, followed by second priority would be your ICD insertion. Then you can go for the third priority, that is your IV fluid, which is eventually mentioned in the option A. But same in case of option D, they basically starts with a IV fluid, which is the third priority for you, followed by ICD insertion, which is the second priority for you, right? And the oxygenation secure airway is basically your first priority. Okay, so it's always good to go with the option A, right? Option. Hopefully you guys are able to understand.